What is happening, my good people? Greetings. How are you? How's it going? How's everybody doing out there? What is the latest and greatest? Hope everybody's doing well, feeling fantastic and excellent spirits here on another Wednesday, the 8th of April, 2026, as we continue to get through another day, another week. In fact, here in the Northeast, I tell you, it feels like winter again. This morning you wake up, it's 29 degrees, wind chill 22, although by the weekend it's supposed to be nice, and a week from today, maybe 80 degrees. But you know what? Enough of me being the weatherman. Glad to have you guys and gals join me here for another live stream every Wednesday. We chop it up about what's happening in the world of sports, and there's a lot to get into. A lot going on. It's the month of April. To me, the greatest sports month of the year. I know I've talked about that now, dating back to last Wednesday when I opened the Wednesday live stream with that on April Fools. But for those who have tuned in, whether it's your first time, welcome aboard, or if it's not, if you've been back several times, of course, welcome back. And my regulars know, share the thoughts in the chat room. I'll post them up on screen there. And for those who are watching the replay, and if it's your first time here, please leave a comment. Don't be shy. Feel free. This is your time to get at me, to debate, agree, disagree, all that as we talk about what's happening in the world of competition. And, of course, for those watching the replay, leave a comment as well. I'll be more than happy to follow up afterwards. And let's get to the comments right away. I see them starting to pile up. Of course, we got my guy Bio in the house. We got the newly minted national champion, J-Rod, there from Michigan. Of course, hello to everybody. Fuqua, a.k.a. Minnesota Fats, Tatsuya M.I., Cowboy Bull, Everyday Mets, Jonathan Sean Cup. Listen, he's got all the AKAs. And hopefully that leg is doing well. I know you say you're going for a run. And here we go, Mark Sammons with his Bo Jackson far superior Barry Sanders. If you're talking about ability, if you're talking about, let's just get this out of the way. And I said this last week, Bo Jackson arguably is a top 10 athlete that has been produced by this country. Athlete. Barry Sanders can't hit a fastball. We know that Bo Jackson can. And that is not in the dispute. But if you're going to talk about body of work, you could talk about style of running, et cetera. We know Bo Jackson, if he was healthy, he probably would be among the all-time greats. But unfortunately, he is not. But when you say far superior, maybe because of his ability to run over people as well as make people miss, that's one thing Barry Sanders didn't have. He always made people miss. Wasn't really a guy who was going to run over people. Yeah, he'll make shed tackles, et cetera. But we could just throw that out there. This is the whole point about debating. This is the whole point about this. Live stream people. So there you get a little taste of what to expect here when it comes to what happens here over the next hour and a half, 2 hours maybe, and so on. And yes, to Fuqua, to Val, yes, Warriors and Giants won. I'm sure Val is feeling very good about, oh yeah, Blue Jays already in trouble. I'm going to get to that too later on when I go through the baseball segment. Because yes, they're already in trouble. And yeah, Tarek Skubal, I didn't see his line last night. You know, let's pull that up real quick just for fun here. Skubal, as we all know, heading into his final year, walk year, and he's going to get a big, giant payday. As we look at last night's game, and the Tigers, they're playing the Twins. Twins are certainly not world beaters. His line last night, now they lost 4-2. I'm sure it wasn't terrible. 4 2/3, 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. For him, that's bad. I mean, his whip was over 2 in the game. We can start there. And yeah, definitely not a good start there for Mr. Skubal, who is now 1-2 on the season. And the other game he lost, they gave up a solo home run in the first inning. So that's a tough break for him. But yeah, Skubal, he's going to be on watch all year, as we know. And like I said, I'll get to the baseball. But, look, I see some more comments here. Stand by. Red Wings lost in a shootout. Yeah, it's crazy between them, the Islanders. I'll touch on them later on as well. The Flyers have played well. Ottawa, Columbus. I mean, it has been a brutal stretch for our teams there. J-Rod and Fishing Angel, hello to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yes, they did win Go Blue. And, of course, Bio, divisions are not won in April. They could certainly can. Yeah. And Val, just reminding Bio what lies ahead. Greatest athlete America produced, Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker? No, I'd say Bo Jackson. When you think of the greatest athlete that the country has produced, of course, you're going to go back Jim Thorpe. Track, football player. He's first and foremost. You're going to look at Bo Jackson. You're going to look at even Deion Sanders for that matter. You're going to look at Muhammad Ali, because I understand it was just boxing, but it was the whole package. Heavyweight champion, which meant something back then. Number two, a guy that had all the flair. He was well ahead of ourselves. I mean, think of the era that we live in. With social media, with the algorithm, how it's set, the swag, you could arguably say he was the guy that invented swag before it was even part of our vernacular. And because of that, because he backed it up, he's another guy that, listen, when you think about the handful of people, Babe Ruth, another one, that's what I'm referring to. You look at Babe Ruth, obviously hot dogs and beer was his diet, but still the guy could hit a baseball 500 feet and was better than anybody during that time frame. But yeah, I'd say Bo Jackson. Fuqua, not Herschel. Yes. And the Mets are playing the Dodgers next week, starting Monday after this homestand that the Mets have when they play the A's, and they got to play. We'll play you guys next week, so we'll have a little friendly banter early on. I love me some Stevie Y, but it's time for him to go. Yeah, they don't make the playoffs this year. You got to wonder, and that's the tough thing about hiring somebody who is an all-time great from the organization that gonna have to pull the plug on. Now, will they do it? I don't know, but they haven't made the postseason, like you said, in a decade. And Stevie Y, I believe, has been there how many years now? Off the top of my head, because he was in Tampa as an exec there forever. Yeah, listen, that's tough. I mean, that's like Patrick Ewing coming back to Georgetown as a head coach and then him being jettisoned, or Chris Mullin. You're going down the line. And, yeah, that is going to be a tough call. Thankfully, I don't have to do that if I'm the ownership of the Red Wings. Happy Steph Curry, Matt Chapman. Oh, well, they really? I didn't even know that. And, of course, they both won. So, yeah, Jim Thorpe. I mean, listen, he's Jim Thorpe. Carl Lewis, yes, he was also. Got to throw him up there. You can also throw Jesse Owens, too, especially during that time. 36 Olympics. Look at that, Mark. We agree on something. That's good. Deion or Bo. Who would I choose between the two? See, that's the thing, because Deion, when you look at his body of work, I mean, he was a corner that nobody threw on, but if Bo was healthy, would be as equal as Deion on the football field. Now, Bo was a better baseball player, and Deion wasn't. Mark Sammons, Tom Brady, greatest athlete ever produced. I won't say that, or even Joe Montana for that. Well, Montana, I think, now you got to take the Super Bowls out of account for this reason, because Montana, he was able to scramble. He was able to not necessarily run, because during that era, quarterbacks didn't really run. Randall Cunningham was pretty much the first guy to do that. But Montana was able to slip out of the pocket and extend plays. Brady never did that. Now, if you're talking about one of the greatest winners this country's produced, absolutely. You're thinking Yogi Berra, you're thinking Bill Russell. You got to put Brady up there. But as far as athlete, I would not put Brady there. I'd put Montana over Brady, if you ask me. Bob McConnell, my shorts post. That's good. I know. And please, I'm still trying to catch up with people for birthday greetings from last week. So, hand raised high in the air. You know me. Got to be transparent. I haven't done that. And I'll surprise you, as well as Fishing Angel, too. I owe her that as well, which, again, bad job on my part. Bo actually owns a training facility. Yes, he does. I did hear about that. Does Barry? No, he does not. And hey, listen, that's my choice. Once he retired from the NFL, it was like he didn't hear a peep. And you know what? That's his right. Can't knock him for that. Are there any Dodger players that were previously Giants? Now? Oh, I mean, in history, there's a million. I hate to throw this name out there because I know it's going to trigger Mark Salmons, but Darryl Strawberry was a Dodger and a Giant once upon a time. But, yeah, there's a ton of players that played for both franchises. Let me see. Brett Butler. Oh, yeah. Listen, if I really start to dig deep, Dodgers and Giants. I'll continue to think about that as I move it along here. Imagine if athletes back in the day actually took care of themselves. Forget about it. It'd be, geez. Yeah, and Dion. Yeah, he spoke on it. I mean, Dion was no joke. Greatest college football player ever? Yeah, I mean, you can't really base that like on Heisman's. A lot of people say Roger Staubach. I believe he won a Heisman. People say Paul Hornung, Notre Dame. Greatest college football player ever. Yeah, like I'm not throwing guys like, does he still hold the all-time lead in Ron Dane? I mean, guys like that, or Cedric Benson, may he rest in peace. No, they're not the greatest college football players ever, but that's a good question. I mean, I guess you'd have to start. You could say maybe Jim Thorpe. I don't know. I'd have to. Nah. That's a good question. Greatest college football player ever. I don't know. You should go even Jim Brown, Syracuse. I mean, you'd have to go that far back, I would think, at least to start. Because over the last 20, 30 years, has there been a college football player that has really, risen above to be like, oh, wow. This guy is arguably the top ever, or one of the best ever. That's a good one, though, Jay. Chapman's been improving. Listen, Chapman is a guy, and he's had a rough start, too, to his year, but I'm sure he's starting to turn it around. Dion wasn't even as good as Bo in baseball. No, he was not. That I agree with you, Mark, 100%. Why isn't it scrolling? This world, the way it's turning into it. Oh, well, yeah, we could definitely talk about that. But, yeah, that's, of course, maybe for another time. But on record, Dion was, no, without question. Dion was definitely legit. I appreciate that, Fishing Angel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of these days I will surprise you. It's crazy how people drive nowadays. Oh, driving? Oh, geez. Don't get me started with drivers. Yes, that's a good one there, Bio. Or Hershiser. Yes, he was. Dodger Giant, of course. Deion Sanders claims he drove off a mountain in Cincinnati, committed suicide. No mountain in Cincinnati. DUI at best. Yeah, Cincinnati's pretty flat. I went there back in 98. Not that I traveled every inch of Cincinnati, but yeah, I don't recall many mountains there. So that I have to agree with you, Mark. We almost got sideswiped because the driver wasn't paying attention. Is that right? Oh, geez. When was that? Charlie Ward, Florida State, who, believe it or not, won a Heisman and did not play in the NFL. Actually had a long career in the NBA. Not long, but he had a career in the NBA, mostly with the Knicks. Marshall Faulk, Reggie Bush. And that's, of course, in your neck of the woods, too. Marshall Faulk, San Diego State, and Reggie Bush being from, I think, didn't he go to Helix High School, San Diego? And obviously playing at USC. Yeah, Reggie Bush was no joke. You watch those highlights. I mean, it's a shame he didn't really pan out as an NFL player. But yeah, that's good. Those are two good ones there, Bio. Yaxel Lindenberg, yes. I'm going to get to them. Well, Woodson is a junior Michigan. He has to be on that list. Yeah, I mean, listen, for a guy to win the Heisman Trophy as a defensive player, that has not happened a lot, really at all. Wait a minute. Didn't somebody just recently win the Heisman as a defensive player? No. I don't believe that's the case. But no, Charles Woodson that year in 97 was phenomenal. Well, it happened yesterday. Jeez, what the hell was that? Well, as long as you guys are all right, that's all that matters. But, geez, that's not good. Football Bernie Sanders? Oh, you mean Barry? Imagine Bernie Sanders playing football. I can't. I was about to get out of the vehicle. Oh, I hear that. Almost getting sideswiped. That is not good. Bio and Val Sports competition named for the 21st. It's going to be good to see who wins. Yes. No, it can get heated, but it just doesn't get personal. As long as it doesn't get personal, which it doesn't here, as we all know. This is all business, people. Reggie Bush got done wrong by. Is that you talking about Lior? Lior Cohen? Or you mean Lloyd? A Death Row Records associate. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure you're right about that. But I'm sure if Whatchamacallit got involved, Mr. Suge Knight, then yeah, we know all the stories about him. Bios are great stuff on my channel. Dodgers do great. Yeah. Also, Lloyd. Lloyd was a Death Row Records associate. So I don't know, did he rat him out? Was he the one that outed him with the whole agent and having to get his Heisman trophy taken away from him and all that? Oh, good one there, J-Rod. Yes, because he played both, but more of his offense than defense. Excellent. I know. I was thinking of who on defense had won the Heisman recently, and I was saying two-way player, but mostly for offense. All right. And then here's one good one there, Val. Cheers, H2O. What happened to the Islanders? Well, that ship is sinking fast. Teams are starting to leapfrog past them. Ottawa, Columbus, Philadelphia. And it's not looking good, considering they have Toronto tomorrow, and this is after 5 days off. They have 4 games left. They have to run the table. I thought maybe 3-1, but they have to run the table and still need help. And, yeah, it's not looking good. I'd be shocked if they make the playoffs right now, and that would be bad. I didn't realize they signed Peter DeBoer to a 4-year deal after firing Patrick Waugh. Why? Was he that much of a guy that they had to get before the end of the season because they didn't want him to go to another team this past offseason? He's been on a million teams as it is to begin with. Coached the Devils, I believe he coached San Jose, the Vegas Golden Knights. I mean, the guy's been on 100 teams. Barry Sanders, I heard his name too. Yeah, and over here, Val, you've heard of Bernie Sanders. Not to be confused with Barry. All right, Mark, yes. What we got here? Woodson did play some offense. He only had 300 yards. No, yeah, he definitely won on his defense. Lloyd Lake. All right, I got to look that up then. That got Reggie Bush in hot water. All right. So I'll get back to your comments in a moment. Let's start here. Let us all clap for Fishing Angel and, of course, J-Rod, the Michigan super fans, as they win the national championship on Monday night over the UConn Huskies. Wait, what did I just do here? Over UConn. And I'm going to start off by saying this. By any means, I'm not throwing cold water on anyone or anything, but I have to say, that is a game that's not going to be remembered all time as one of the greats. And not that all championship games have to, by any means, but that was a bit of a slog. Shooting was terrible. The Wolverines, they didn't even make a 3 in the first half. And then I believe UConn started 0 for 13 from that same side of the court that Michigan shot at in the first half. They went 0 for 13 before I believe Braylon Mullins hit a 3. And Michigan only made 2 threes in the game. And for Michigan, the one thing, and I talked about this on the short yesterday, if you hadn't seen it, I will get into it. The one thing that you had not seen from Michigan throughout this whole tournament run, and yes, we know they're tough, and yes, we know that they play physical, and they could play any type of game. They could play half court, they could play in transition, they could bang, they could win in the 60s, as you saw, or they could win in the 90s when they scored at least 90 in the first 5 games. But the one thing that we certainly did not know, and we found out, albeit they weren't in trouble, but we did see the grit. We saw the intestinal and even the testicular fortitude, as I like to say, of this Wolverine team, because we knew that even though UConn doesn't match, although they have very gritty players, winning players, but they don't have the size, they don't have the overall talent that Michigan has. But we know the makeup mentally, emotionally, psychologically that UConn has, that we weren't able to see that through the first 5+ games of the tournament when it came to Michigan. But we saw it down the stretch. And at one point, at 67-63, when Roddy Gale missed those 2 free throws, and I said to myself, oh, geez, I guess it was what, less than 50 seconds to go? And he missed those free throws, and I said to myself, the door is open for UConn to win this game. Because let's say when it went down the court, made a 3, made it 67-66, and then they would have to foul at that point. You already had a guy miss 2 from the free throw line. And let's say even if they made those 2 free throws, next thing you know, UConn comes down the court. Alex Caravan, who shot terribly throughout this tournament, but all of a sudden the magic is in his fingertips and he makes a 3 and the game is tied. Forget about it. Michigan, at that point, who knows what would have been going on between their ears and in their chests. But even after the 2 missed free throws, they came down, shot missed, they were able to get the rebound, and we know that Michigan defended well and certainly did a yeoman's work-like performance as far as just trying to attack and not let, I'm not going to say UConn breathe, because they had plenty of chances, especially behind the three-point arc, but they were just futile from downtown. And what could you say? When you had a performance by Yaxel Landenberg coming off that ankle and knee injury, suffered on Saturday, more so the ankle and the knee. But in the second half, he came to life there with 6 points there down the stretch. I loved his halftime interview. Very open, very candid. Certainly not scripted, not vanilla like you normally see when asked the questions of, oh, can you describe how your first half went? And generally it's usually the, oh, you know, hey, I was just going through the motions, or hey, but that's all right, I'm going to come out second half, whatever. No. He said, I was soft out there. I did not play well. I'm going through it, but we'll see what happens in the second half. And I applauded that, because how many players are going to come out with their true feelings on their sleeve to discuss a first half where they had a little bit of separation. The game was nip and tuck until they got that sequence where Caravan, no, I think it was Taris Reed was hooked by, or maybe it was Caravan. No, I think it was Taris Reed, where Maurice Johnson was hooked and he had the 2 free throws there, and they had another basket to extend their lead by 5, which got Michigan some breathing room. And second half was, again, it was a slog of a game. But they persevered. They withstood the 2 missed free throws there at 67-63, and I thought to myself, oh, no, this is dangerous. But they held them off, got the win, and Michigan deservedly so. They were the better team, despite UConn's track record, and they win their second national championship in school's history. And what can you say? I thought they were the team to beat going into this tournament. I know you had Arizona, and let's face it, Duke, they're sick to their stomachs knowing that Connecticut, the team that they lost to, got to a final in a Duke-Michigan championship game. I understand that they played each other in the regular season where Michigan lost in D.C. against the Blue Devils, but that certainly would have been a big time. Now, I get you got UConn there, which they're no slouch considering making their 3rd national championship in 4 years, but it was a situation where they couldn't lose having UConn there, and I'm sure if Duke would have been there, would have been probably even a little bit bigger, because Duke, they're more of a national team than UConn, despite their success over the last 25 years or so. And there it is. There was your national championship, and the Wolverines prevail there in Indianapolis. And right now, between them and Duke, they're the odds-on favorites, the early odds, if you want to call them, going back to a Final Four and winning the whole thing. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I understand that Duke is bringing in, I believe Michigan too, a couple of top recruits for each of their universities. But as we all know, it is way too early to even unpack that. And now college basketball gets put on the shelf pretty much so, I'll say late January into February. But as we all know, once we get to late February into early March, conference championships, and then obviously Selection Sunday, the tournament, that's when we really take it off the shelf, dust it, open it up, and then for what, 2.5, 3 weeks, we get immersed in the college hoops. So that's what I got there. But I'm going to move on to the next thing regarding the game, but I want to get to the comments. Let me scroll up here. Better college player, Johnny Manziel or Reggie Bush? Oh, I'd say Bush. And Manziel, now, at that time, yeah, because I was doing my radio show. That was October 2013. And he got drafted that year. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, Manziel played 2012. He got drafted in 2013. And yeah, everybody was on Johnny Manziel like he was going to be like the next coming of, I don't know, throwing anybody's name. And from when I saw him at Texas A&M, and I understand he beat Alabama, and I believe that was in Tuscaloosa too that year, I still thought that he wasn't going to be a big-time player because of his size. And I knew he was a gamer. I knew he had a lot of guts. To me, he was Baker Mayfield at that time. And obviously, he had his demons off the field. Obviously, the money gesture, and his ego and his persona just superseded what he did on the field. And in fact, his best came in his career. Although the Steelers blew him out, there was one game, if I pull up his numbers, I think it was in that year, 2013, maybe even 2014, because I don't think he lasted past that year. There was a game he threw for 335 yards and a touchdown. That was against the Steelers. Maybe 340. But I understand Heisman. I would take Reggie Bush, though. I thought he was a better player. J-Rod, can't stop smiling. Hey, you can smile all the way till Midnight Madness. That's for sure. Been improving his mindset, MLB, Giants. Yeah, let's go, Giants. Do not want to see the Phillies. Yeah, Reggie Bush for sure. Got a chance to win a natty and hockey starting. That's right. Going for a daily double. You probably have to Google Lloyd Lake Reggie Bush because is that right? All right, I'll look that up. Mark, absolutely. Bio, J Reels is a good luck podcast. J Reels Celtics won. I had Dodgers twice. J Rod. Hey, listen, Bio, I appreciate the endorsement. Thank you so much. And yeah, for those who are here to the room for the first time, please feel free to leave a comment. Don't be shy. These are my regulars that come every Wednesday. I love these guys and gal. Can't forget Fishing Angel too, which is the next comment. But thank you, Bio. I appreciate that. Michigan won because their coach is amazing in the teams. Yeah, no, they definitely have more of a team unit. It's not about the one player, as evidenced by Landenborg. He only had what in the game? I think he had 11 points. So it's not like the one guy has to carry them. Elliot Cadeau, I forgot to mention, he was the MOP. He was fantastic. And, I love Maurice Johnson. I mean, they have a great team. They have length, they have size, you couldn't ask for a better team and depth. And that's why they won, giving you free facts every day. Mark trying. And it's funny, I do miss doing the daily lives now. I did the 31 days. I haven't done one since. And that's another thing, too. I owe you guys and gals an apology because Friday, I was out at Yankee Stadium and I got I think I got some pretty good content that I will post in 4 separate parts. I was unable to do a live because as I went to the YouTube app and I was outside the stadium and with everybody that was out there, it was opening day. And yeah, I pressed the plus sign to go live. And when I did so, all I got was the wheel of death. It just kept circling and circling and circling to try to connect. And I guess because of all the people in one concentrated area, even outside the stadium, I was unable to connect. So that's why I didn't go live. I wanted to, but was unable to do so. Wait, yeah, we already talked about that. Hold on. Yes, 9 years, $140 million. Good for Connor Griffin. And how about Paul Skeens? I talked about that before. Let's go. Wait, Bio, you have a channel? Wait, did I miss something here? Bio, I did not know that. If you have a channel, I'm going to subscribe to it. How did I not know about this? 9 for 32 from 3 was UConn, Michigan 2 for 15. I know. And both of those were in the second half that were made. You were right about the score, J Reels. No, I picked. Absolutely. You're right about that, J Rod. No, my final prediction. Did I do that on here? I mean, no, I think I sent it to Jay. We texted. Yeah, I started off like 79, 68, but I picked 82, 70. I figured I'll get in the 80s, but yeah, far from it. So, yeah, I was off by a lot. And listen, it's kind of hard to predict the score. But what's this? I like seeing the little weasel crying on the sidelines. Maybe it's in the water at UConn. Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I can't. He's just too much with his arms up and yelling and his glasses. I can't. Danny Hurley. Ugh. Oh yeah, there we go. Far South California committed on the Fat Five. Oh, all right, that's good. That's why they're probably one of the teams that are favored to win next year. Trae Young quad back expects. Oh, no shock there for the Wizards. My thoughts on former Met pitcher John Franco. Met Hall of Famer. I got none against him. I love John Franco. He's from Brooklyn, New York, Lafayette High School. Yeah, I got no problems with John Franco. Obviously, he was on the Mets from 90 because they made a trade there right before the 90 season for Randy Myers to, I think, 2005. Because here's a fun fact. John Franco, and I believe he was traded to the Astros that year where he was on that World Series team that lost to the White Sox. And I don't think it was a thing where they want to try to get him to win a World Series, but no, I love him. Lefty, threw hard when he was young. Start off with the Reds. I believe 86 was his first year. No, I don't have a problem with John Franco. Love him. Oh, yeah, 13 points. Yaxel. All right. Yeah, that's right. I said 11. So, yes, 13 for Yaxel Landenborg. Long Island guy. Not close by. He was from Brooklyn. Brooklyn, New York. And I believe he probably lives in Staten Island now, but he still lives in the area. Fishing J. Rose bio, other OGs. Be positive. Please be respectful. Yes. I pull shorts of sports cards, single cards, and opening packs. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to do this right now. Why didn't you tell me that? You're probably going to be like, J. Rose, I told you a long time ago. Let's see. No, I don't want to do that. YouTube watch. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much time. But I do want to, and I'm sure it's under the same name, right? 186. That's by. Here we go. Ripping packs with the LA. Looks like this got to be you. So now I'm number 14. My guy. Subscribe. Let's see. They're awesome bio. Yes. I love it. Guess where the Final Four is next year? Oh, I should know this. Don't tell me Ford Field. Yeah, I don't know when the next. Oh, let me see. It's funny. The Indianapolis. What they were last year? Were they in New Orleans? See, I'm gonna look that up now. Final Fours. Few years. I'm cheating. Aha! Detroit. Oh, then they're going to play in Vegas. Well, that's going to be Allegiant. And then back to Indianapolis. Oh, and that's funny. That Saturday, the semifinal falls on my birthday. Ooh, and that's a big one for yours, Julie. I'll be 60. Oh, I'll be out of the country for sure. I got to do something for my 60th. God willing. I still got to get there. It's less than 3 years away. But, yeah, Detroit. Look at that. All right. Oh, and imagine if the Wolverines make it, that'd be great. It is in Detroit back-to-back and win. Oh, yeah, that'd be great. I know you'll be first in line. Yes, he was. Very good. Most moves at the work. Oh, so I'm sure he had his surgery and all that, I would think. Crutches, yep. Oh, good for him. All right, let me spend a couple minutes here. I'll get back to your comments. I have to bring this up. And trust me, I just finished talking about how I'm sick and tired of him on the sidelines yelling and screaming and his arms up in the air, etc. But there were actually people yesterday, and I get it's rage bait, and I know people, Jay Reels, why are you triggered by what these people have to say and so on and so forth, whatever. But I find it laughable because it's not just from the average Joe. It's from people who post sports content. And I'm not going to name names. And yeah, I won't even pull it up here because I know then J-Rod, I know he got me that one time when I was on that guy. I'll mention his name because we talked about that time, the shot clock on Instagram. But yeah, there's actually people that have posted that, oh, this is a blemish on Danny Hurley's legacy now. What? I couldn't believe that. And that's why I put a short on the channel yesterday, because for people to come out and say that, to me, it's flat out wrong, number one. Number two, let's face it, he shouldn't have been there because Duke gagged down the stretch of that game. And if that was the case, then nobody would even be talking about how Danny Hurley's legacy took a hit because of the loss Monday night. But even me, a lifelong Georgetown fan who hates Connecticut, the team, not the state. And this is going back. You're talking about going back to Ray Allen, Daron Sheffer, Rip Hamilton, Khalid El Amin, Ricky Moore, Charlie Villanueva, Emeka Okafor. I could go on and on and on. Shabazz Napier, anyone? But even that is unfair to Danny Hurley. All right, he got to a final. Yes, he could have made history, 3-4. Obviously, it's not Wooden's, 8 in a row. But when was the last time you've seen any college team since then win 3, in 4 years? I'm waiting. Still waiting. I know Billy Donovan back-to-back never got 3 straight or that third in 4 years. And we know Hurley was the first to get back-to-back since Donovan. So, yeah, just to hear that is and that's what bothers me about people who are putting forth sports content, and I get it. It's the clicks, it's this, what. But true sports fans know. I mean, come on. If anything, Duke assisted, gave them the runway for them to take off, get to a Final Four in a championship game. And I understand, when you have gritty players, as UConn showed, despite the fact of the boneheaded pass by Caden Boozer. But we understand that Hurley's a great coach, and we know what UConn's done here. But now, if they would have gotten blown out in the game, if they would have lost, 69-40, I would say, yeah, it takes a bit of a hit because maybe they didn't deserve to be there. But no, they were right there. Granted, they weren't in any type of situation where they could have tied or taken the lead late for everything that I've detailed earlier. But yeah, I mean, it's a farce that these creators are going to come out and say things like that. I mean, and I won't stand for it. So that's why here I am defending Danny Hurley of all people after I just criticized him for his antics on the sideline. But I mean, to me, it's just, I can't stand it. I just hate it when people do that. Let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, yeah, but I'm going to talk about that. Hold on. Yeah, Lakers Warriors tomorrow. And that's after Celtics Knicks, which they could cement themselves as a 2 seed. I'm going to talk about the Celtics in a little bit also. But yes, the brawl last night. That unfolded rather strangely. So the pitcher for Anaheim, who right now, not for Anaheim, because for the Braves, because I'm thinking Jorge Soler still in the Braves for whatever the reason. Jorge Soler, formerly Atlanta Brave, actually a World Series MVP 2021, was at bat for the Angels. And on the mound was Reynaldo Lopez, right-hander. So I believe it was a 2-0 count where Lopez throws up and in, goes to the backstop. Runner goes from first to second. And then out of nowhere, Soler charged the mound. And he's ready to throw haymakers. And Lopez is backtracking. He doesn't want to catch any of that smoke. Bench is clear. Those guys are going to get suspended. You figure Lopez 5 games off the rip. I would think maybe maybe a little bit more for Soler. But, yeah, that was one that escalated rather delayed. Because generally, if a pitcher's going to throw up an in like that and the batter's going to react and stare at the mound or maybe say a word or have his bat up like, hey, what the hell was that about? And based on what Lopez said, he didn't really say anything. And this is going through interpreters, of course. But Soler said, yeah, I don't like what he said. But, of course, Lopez took the high road. I don't know if he cursed at him or who knows. But, yeah, that was a pretty intense brawl there. Because generally those brawls, they get intercepted by the catcher or the umpires, or generally it's an open field tackle because it's not like they're going to be squaring off. But Soler rushed up to him and right away squared off and tried to swing at him, and Lopez was swinging and backtrack. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, check out the highlight. That was a wild one. Moses Mooney had surgery, looks good. But when will he come back next season? He had a bad – yeah, I would think he's probably not going to come back till the end of next season, I would think, Val. That'd be my guess. Bryce Underwood's looking stupid good in spring training. Yeah, good for him. And you would think Michigan's going to rebound after the year last year, so. Oh, Draymond, here we go. Said something about tanking yesterday. Yeah, he made a comment about Sacramento. I mean, Draymond just can't keep his mouth shut. Let me see. Let me pull that up. I know you had sent me that too, Val. Hold on. Let's get out of that. If you continue, no, we will not continue. Let's see. I know, yeah, the thing with Draymond. Where is it here? Yeah, talking about fouling. Oh, yeah. He goes, I get fined when I do wrong. This is when he says, Draymond wants the NBA to start punishing teams for tanking. You're going to come out and say this now? This was weeks ago, Draymond, but all right. I get fined when I do wrong. Just find the hell out of people. We love taking money from players. Keep finding the teams. If it was players, they would have snatched that money in a heartbeat. Why isn't it the same? We know exactly what to do when someone gets a technical, suspended for a game. We know exactly what to do. All of a sudden, we have teams with issues, and we don't know what to do. Well, now I believe didn't Adam Silver come out with a couple of rules and regulations? I didn't really follow it because to me it's like, come on. I understand that this isn't anything that's etched in stone just yet, but I got to look at it from this standpoint. Draymond, I get it. He's a mouthpiece, has a podcast, etc. I understand a lot of these players do. And by any means, I'm not telling him he can't speak on it or say anything about it, but I mean, what does Draymond really bring to the masses as far as his commentary goes? Not much. So, and I hate to say it, a lot of the players or former players that have those platforms, they don't really tell you much. They do not. Because I understand if you're a fan of this player or players that have podcasts, they're only going to say but so much. They're not going to do a deep dive. And I talked about this the other day with Kevin Garnett and all that, and all the smoke. But yeah, I mean, that's why I get outraged when I see people like me have a platform to put clickbait, rage bait garbage, because to me, it's irresponsible. Where here it is, I'm trying to blaze a path. And I get it. Everybody can do whatever they want. I understand. But it seems to me that we're more inundated with creators that do that work than someone like myself that is backed by integrity. It's backed by credibility that a former athlete, current athlete, broadcaster, studio host, whatever, if I'm trying to reach out to them to have them as a guest on my podcast and they don't know me from a hole in the wall, they're going to be like, oh, he's probably another rage bait guy or clickbait guy, or he's going to ask stupid questions. No. And when it comes to players, I'm not trying to say that they have to be Bob Costas or Dan Patrick, but come on. As outspoken as he is, you would think he'd be more outspoken towards players or situations, and in this case, I guess toward the Kings. But yeah, I mean, I know that I spent a few minutes and bored you with that. My apologies, but I don't think Hurley's legacy is hurt at all. Yeah, that's it. Bottom line. Stephen A was talking about how Steph Curry should not play Rage Bait. Yeah. Yeah, you sent me that too, Val. I know. And trust me, I won't get on the Stephen A bandwagon or, pounding him. And he's gotten abuse. I don't know if you've seen, which I won't get into. Just if you're not on Instagram or just Google Stephen A. Smith, Matt Barnes. Yeah, they're coming after Stephen A. But not even just about sports, about other things. Yeah. Why Stephen A. would say that he should not play is stupid. And it makes me think that, is he just coming out with these comments just to try to corral people into rage bait, or does he really mean what he says when it comes to that? The Warriors, we get that they are a playing team. And for him to say that he should not play, especially if he's been cleared to play and is healthy, knowing that they at least have one playing game ahead of them, why not? And I don't know if anybody rebutted or debated that with him. I'm sure they did. Now, I don't know. I didn't watch. And I don't even know. I'm assuming that was on First Take. Yeah, it's just like, come on. Like, what are we doing, Stephen A? I could see it was a thing where he was hurt and he wants to come back and play at 50%, where you could say, no, he shouldn't play. All right. If he hasn't been cleared to play or if he's forcing the issue, that I understand. But if he's ready to play and can suit up and he's going to come out and say, oh, no, this is crazy. Why is this man playing? You shouldn't be playing. I mean, come on. Your facts are always correct, Mark Sammons. Although not when it comes to Hal Morris, by the way, but that's all right. I'll forgive you for that one. And don't let me bring up the video because I did watch. He did play first base in games 1 and 2. So, what was this? I'm hoping Mara. Yeah. Yeah, no, he did not have a good offensive game, but yeah, obviously being there in the paint, rim protector, definitely had his impact there. Got many, many more? Okay. Michigan will not any team anywhere. They're going to win regardless because they have a hell of a coach and team. Yes, Dusty May, props to him. 1,000%. I meant, was there any Dodger players who were in Giants like 24, 25? Oh, in the last year or two? Oh, thank you, Val. I appreciate that. Dodger players that were on the Giants in the last 2 years and vice versa. I'd have to go back and look at the rosters. Off the top of my head, there isn't one that sticks, but no, definitely not. You saw punches, but definitely not. Why are the Mets playing better without Juan Soto? It's a good question. My guy Fuqua. How's that leg? How was the run the other day? Inquiring minds want to know. I can't say they're better off. I understand that they're what now? He played that game in Cincinnati. He hasn't played since Saturday. Did he not play Friday night? I guess they're undefeated since he's been out of the lineup. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to. Now, why are they playing better? I don't know. But I'm not going to attribute that all to Soto being out of the lineup, that, there's a breath of fresh air that he's not in the lineup. Now we're playing better. I mean, is there something that we don't know that's happening out in Citi Field? Soler hit home run in the first. Soler was hit. Oh, look at that. Okay. Well, that makes sense. But then Ronaldo Lopez is like, what did I do? Trying to be all right, Frazier Brown. I can't post that comment. The mouths in the NBA are getting old real quick. Yeah, the mouths are getting old real quick. Yeah, I mean, listen. But then you could say, I'm sure there's people who don't like Charles Barkley and what he has to say. And we all know Charles is very outspoken. And we know Charles has been long out of our consciousness when it comes to playing in the NBA. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Draymond, I don't know. Wiffle ball was great. I used to love wiffle ball. That was my thing. Way, way back in the day. In fact, I do have a wiffle ball bat and ball in storage. Tanking team, Sacramento and the Pacers. Yes, they are tanking, by the way. Oh, okay. Thank you, Val. I appreciate that. Frazier Brown, okay. All right, what if the Warriors win a playing game, their draft pick is guaranteed? I don't know. I don't think that's the case. Because it's just the top 14 teams that have the. Let me see. Maybe that is 16. How many teams? Draft lottery. I know. Yeah, 14. So if that means, yeah, if they lose, hold on a second. Because you have 10, 5, 5. Yeah, I guess those teams, the two teams, you're right. Wait, how recent is this? Because watch. All right, here we go. This is from NBA.com. Well, get this out of here. Hold on. The NBA draft lottery will determine the order of selection for the first 14 picks. Right. So we know 8 and 8. So I guess the teams that are on the outside that lose in the play-in tournament, they'll be part of the lottery. And that's just a guess. Lottery teams will select in positions 5 through 14 in reverse order of their 2025 regular season records. The order of selection of the first round, 15 to 30, and entire second round is determined by a reverse order of regular season record. All right, which teams will participate? Are the 14 teams that miss out on the 2026 NBA playoffs. So, right, because obviously it's a play-in tournament. So for those two teams in the West and the East that miss out, they'll be part of the lottery. And team one, look at that. The top three teams, 14%. Remember it was 25%? Boy, did that change. But no, go in there, J-Rod. I was impressed that Stephen A. did publicly apologize to Dusty May. Oh, did he really? I didn't see that. Fuqua. Is that right? Good for you. How far? How long? You did 5K? I saw Stephen A. like back then sometimes. Yeah, it takes a whack. Mr. Smith is a bastard. Yeah. All right, Fraser Brown. I posted some nature short. You know what? I did see that. Wait, where did I see that, though? Was that on your Instagram? You know, Val, I did see that. What were you doing out there? You were getting some running in? All right. Mark, I hate to do this to you. I know this stems from a couple weeks ago, but that's why, yeah, it had me. So I don't forget my elbow in the camera there. But I'm putting up the, which I should have it connected all the time. Here we go. Yeah, because I know we talked about it, and yes, Todd Benzinger and the whole nine. And no, you're right about Benzinger, and he did play first base in Oakland the 2 games. And Hal Morris was your DH, but let me pull this up just to show you. All right. No, we don't want that. YouTube, please. Thank you. Let's go here because I think I had it in my watch history because I went back after the fact. I said, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find this. 1990 World. Here we go. I know people right now, but Jay Reels, get off it. Stop it. Don't do this. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. All right, here we go. I got it right here queued up perfectly. All right, I'm muting the audio because I don't want to get caught for copyright. Yeah, Fuqua, I'll get to that. Bio, I'll get your comment. All right, here we go. Ready? And Mark, I'm only doing this because I knew then, and we got back and forth. And I know you say you have to rewatch the '90 World Series, but I remember that was 2 weeks ago. Last week, he came at me and said Hal Morris did not play in those games. Well, share screen. All right, here we go. Share. All right, let me just fix this. Oh, let me get your comment off just so. We don't want Danny Hurley taking a hit. Get this out of here. Thank you. All right. So let's make sure we get this playing here. All right, these are the introductions. This is before game one. As you see here on the bottom, Oakland Athletics, Cincinnati Reds. Who's coming out of the dugout? Oh, it's Billy Hatcher. Because they're going through the lineups. Hatcher was your leadoff. I'm sorry. Larkin was your leadoff, Hatcher. And now, no, I think Paul O'Neill comes out. Look at Paul O'Neill. Jeez. So now you have O'Neill coming out, and then here we go. I think Hal Morris. No, Eric Davis, then it's Morris. There's Eric Davis. All right, and then the next guy coming out is none other than former Yankee farmhand, starting first baseman of the 1990 World Series, Game 1, first baseman, boom. There you go. And that's the name, Hal Morris, just so you know. And then now, let's just forward here, because in this first inning, Eric Davis hit the 2-run homer. There's Jose Rijo. There's Canseco. Is this Davis up now? Oh, it's Paul O'Neill. Yeah, Davis hit a bomb. I think it was first pitch, too, if I'm not mistaken. You see, and this is before they had the box on the bottom, like the score and the count and all that. Look at Mark McGwire looking all thin there. Yeah, it was a fastball right down the middle, left center. And I loved Eric Davis' stance. Ugh. Is that Willie McGee? Yep, I do believe that was Willie McGee. And the game was on CBS, too, if you remember that. All right. All right. Last but not least, and I'll get off this, I promise. I know I'm boring you guys to tears with this. Who is up to bat? There's Lou Piniella, of course, the manager. Who is that at the plate? Strike one. Was that Frank Pulley? I think it was Frank Pulley, the umpire. Two strikes. Oh, so wait a minute. They probably already showed the graphic. But that's Hal Morris, people. See his number 23. You're going to see Davis's home run again. All right, that's it. So, yeah, that's enough. I know I bored you to tears. My apologies. All right, let's get back to business here. Let's go stop sharing. Let me see the comments. I know you like Jay Reels. You're out of control. All right, and then I'll get to some other things here. What's wiffle ball? All right, here we go. You read that somewhere. It could be wrong. Wait, hold on. Let me go back up to... Oh, but if the Warriors... Oh, here we go. This is going back to this comment. The Warriors playing a playing game, and the draft pick is guaranteed. No, if they lose, then it is. Good to see that, Fuqua, again. I just had to put that up there. Glad to see that your leg is well. All right, Fuqua. I don't follow the NBA much because I feel like some of the commentary leans heavily towards political perspectives I don't agree with. Really? Nah, listen, if you feel that way, Fuqua, that's fine. I can see if this was during the pandemic where that was, well, all the sports were involved, not just the NBA, but I hear you. I took my daughter to 5 and below yesterday, and I wanted to buy her a wiffle ball and bat. Really? She said no way? All right. Yes. As we saw. Mark, you're not going to start getting coy on me, are you? What's wiffle ball? 3 miles, 36 minutes. Excellent. Very good. I love it. Oh, Fraser Brown. So this is where you're from? Scotland. I appreciate you hopping on board. Thank you so much. I know you said some things I didn't want to post earlier. But no, listen, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama. I know that was. You talk about all of San Antonio holding their collective breaths. He got into that collision with Paul George the other night. Oh, it's on YouTube. What, the wiffle ball fishing angel? I'll do more research on Hal Morris. Ah, good to see you there, J-Rod. All right, here we go. Hal Morris played first base games 1 and 2. Thank you, Bio. I know I said it that day. I even brought it up, but I just had to, yeah. Well, yes, I actually saw it and I actually showed it to you. So that is, I don't know what else to tell you. And that's not AI. It's 1990. The weather where you at, Val, looks sunny and nice. Oh, yeah, Northern California. Yeah, posted YouTube, Instagram, Lover's Point. I was enjoying nature, but yeah, posted on those 2 channels. You got hurt. You got hurt running? Oh, yeah, I think you did say that. Yes, thank you, Bio. I know. And I did. That's why I brought it up, but, you know. Injured my toe on my left leg wearing a bandit. Oh, Band-Aid. And Raymond is getting better. Oh, that's good. Never happened. All right, Mark. I never posted running since YouTube released my shorts. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. You can't put a song on YouTube. You could do that, but you can only do that for no more than 10 seconds. So if you're going to play a song that has copyright, you could play it really like 5 to 7 seconds if you want to be safe. But yeah, that's why they delete it. He didn't play first base, though. I don't know. I just showed video proof, so I don't know what to tell you. Show Hal playing first base. Axel, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Mark, do I really have to go there? Never happened. All right, I'm not going to go there. We already know. So, yes, thank you, Bio. I said that to him 2 weeks ago, and I only just brought up the video that was on YouTube. Yeah, he was at bat, but remember, that was in a National League ballpark. Back then, the pitcher used to bat, so you didn't have the DH, and Hal Morris was not a DH then, so therefore, he was your first baseman. All right, Mark. Well, wait, Mark has all the facts. He says he's always right. Well, this case, he is not. Stephen A. apologizing to Dustin May is YouTube. Oh, on YouTube, Stephen May. Okay. Yes, he did. 100% Bio. Just saying. Yeah. You're saying, but you are incorrect. Yes, they are. They won the 2 games in Miami right now. And I think they have 2 more games. They're 8-3. I think they're off to their best start. I thought I saw a graphic. Their best start in 15 years, I think. Which, good for the Reds. If you actually watch the entire series. We're not talking about the entire series. We're talking about game 1. And I just showed you the video. Do I need to bring it up again? You know what? I know people right now are like, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Mark, how much you want to bet? I'll bet you $1 million. Or how about $20? You can send it to my whatchamacallit. No, I'm not gonna do this. Because I already showed he's out there. You didn't see Jack? Okay. All right. Well, just take my word for it, because I'm not gonna come out here and lie and be straight up. Unless I get a show of hands in the room that just to get Mark silent. Do you want me to put up a video of Hal Morris on first base during the World Series? If so, raise your hands or just say yes or please, J Reels, just so we can move on from here. And I will do that now. I'll move on. I'll talk about other stuff before I get to that video if you want me to show it. NBA. 4 more days. Here's a weird scheduling quirk that I don't understand why they did this. And I'm sure if I think about it, I could come up with it. But so they had NBA games the night of the national championship game. And all right, I can see if they had 1 or 2 games, but they had about 5 or 6 games and a few good games too. They had the 76ers Spurs game, the Knicks and the Hawks. I understand not sexy, but and I think it was another game. I think Denver, who did they play that night? Was it Portland, I believe? And I understand Portland's in the play-in, but you're not watching Sacramento, Indiana, but they had a slate of games that night. But if you look on the schedule this forthcoming weekend, there are no games on Saturday. And I know they did that last year too. Why? I don't know. Why would they give the entire league a day off on the next to the last day of the season? I don't want to hear about travel or any of that. But yeah, I just find that weird. And if I could probably type it and find out, or if I really think about it, yeah, why would they give the teams a blow? I just don't understand that. But the final 4 days, I'm not going to bore you with the 3 to 6 in the West and the playing scenario 5 to 10 in the East. You know, at this point, I'm going to talk about it tomorrow on the podcast, so I'll unpack it then. But the one thing that I am fascinated is the game tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Now, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean much. Celtics have a 3-game lead over the Knicks. But it is Jason Tatum's first game back at Madison Square Garden, which he downplayed yesterday by saying, yeah, it's another game that might as well get out of the way now because they're on a collision course to meet in the second round, similar to they did last year, provided that they win their first-round matchups in the postseason. And I'm glad that they're having this game now because it's not a situation where Tatum is going to go back to the Garden, let's just say a game 3 in the Eastern Conference semifinals, to where the Knick fan is going to be nasty. The Knick fan, they're going to be booing. They're going to do whatever. Now, I don't expect them to cheer tonight. I don't expect them. Maybe they'll cheer him just to see, maybe an introduction. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of boos because who in New York's going to cheer anybody that's from Boston? I get that. But knowing that he had that injury, he suffered it there, and he's coming back. But I think tonight, and it doesn't matter what, he could go 2 for 19 and have 6 points in the game and lose. But knowing that he's going to be on that court where he injured that Achilles and that he's getting it out of the way now, knowing that there is a date sometime in the early part of May that a rematch could be in store where he's going to have to go back into that building and not in his first time back since the injury, I think that's bodes well for he and the Celtics. And that's not to say that even if it was a situation where they went into the postseason and that was his first time back, but you never know. Snakes in the head. The fans are ruthless. You saw they treated Trae Young over the years. I'm sure they'll say, and I know Trae Young was more of a villain than Tatum is, but I don't know what to expect from that MSG crowd. And I'll say this right now, and I only bring this up for this reason. I want the Knicks. I want them. I want to face them in the second round because any Knicks fan that wants to come on, sour grapes, shut up, Jay Reels. We won fair and square. Yeah, you did win fair and square. But the Celtics lost that series as much as the Knicks won that series. And I don't care who you are. I don't care. Even you could be a dyed-in-the-wool NBA fan. Go back and watch games 1 and 2 again, and you'll see why. The Celtics shot themselves out of both of those games where they had 20-point leads in games 1 and 2 in their building, lost both of them, one by 2 points, the other by 1 point. And if they would have made it 1-3 in one game and 2 threes in another, they would have won. I think one game they lost by 3, now that I think about it. So I want to hear it. Because even if Tatum blew out his Achilles there in game 4, and the Celtics should have won those first 2 games, I get it, they didn't. But they should have won those. They would have won in 5. Now, they would have probably lost Indiana in the next round because of Tatum's injury. But I'll go to my grave knowing that the Celtics lost that series more than the Knicks. That's why I want them again. And, let's hope that's the case. So that's my NBA's Final Four. I'll get to the NHL in a second. Let me get to these comments. You guys are the best. Do it, Jay. Do it. Do it. Shut them up. Do it. All right. I'll be quick, people. I appreciate your support. Mark says a sack fly. All right. That's why you guys. And listen, Mark, I know you come out and you've said nice things and whatever, but this one, for whatever the reason, you just cannot and will not think that you are wrong on this. And come on. You got the rise out of me a couple weeks ago. You got all that. I get it 100%. And here we go. Let's drag this over here. Oh, no, I can probably leave this here. Yeah, I'll leave this here. Hold on. Let me just share my screen. I queued it up, so I'm not trying to search for it. And mind you, you saw Eric Davis hit the home run earlier, correct? I'm looking at the screen for whatever reason, which I shouldn't be. You did see it, correct? Share. Let me just make sure I'm in the lower corner, just so I'm not hogging up the screen. Yeah, we don't want that. Let's go here. Boom. Oh, let's take Mark's comment. No offense, Mark, but did it go away? It didn't go away. We're all here to talk sports. All right, let me just do that. Now let's get the final 4 days out. Jeez Louise. All right. Now, the picture says Athletics at Reds, 90 World Series, Game 1, October, the date, etc. Now, let us hit play. And we can see that Mr. Hal Morris got to the plate. Stand by. Where's the damn video? I need the video. Where's the video? Did I just not lose it? Oh, I know. Hold on. Oh, God. Did I just have this here? Didn't I just have this? I know. You're probably seeing everything but that right now. Hold on. Here we go. Thank you, guys. There's Morris right there. You just saw him in the clip. You saw the back of his jersey. There's Davis going into the dugout. It's 2-0, bottom of the first. Hit the home run off Dave Stewart. There's Billy Hatcher. And coming up to the plate, CBS, can we cut to it, please? There he is. 2-0, bottom of the first, World Series. See the graphic there, Mark, right? Like he's squaring up the bunt. That was a strike. Yikes. That was not a strike. And we know he started off 0-2, so hopefully after this graphic, or after this, well, that was a strike. We'll get to see Morris. Oh, of course not. They're not going to show the graphics, so it's going to make me look bad. But we know that's him. What do they do here? I think we saw that. Did he foul this pitch off? That was high as a ball. Maybe they'll show it now. Please. If not, oh, yeah, there's the home run. I need the graphic, people, because, again, no, it's going to fly out, and then that's it. Oh, ground out. Good. Maybe they'll show the graphic here. There's Mike Gallego at short. No, of course not. They want to do me like this. That's all right. I'll get to the next inning. See the home runners first with it. Oh, look at that. 1980. Oh, it was just the year before. That's low. Well, CBS, they're playing tricks with me here. Maybe I needed to put the audio up, right? It's pulling a Russa. Of course. I know. Mark's got to be laughing right now. But we know that's Hal Morris. We know that's his stance. That's his batting. Look at Dave Stewart. Yes. Oh, here we go. Maybe right now. Could you do me a solid? No, of course. We got to show the full count. I'm going to have to forward to his next at bat. Because I just outside. Wow, that was a strike. Frank Pulley, look at this. Whoa. That was just awful. Oh my goodness. I would have been thrown out of the game. Is that the end of the inning? Oh, see, here's the pitcher. All right. To show you, Jose Rio. To show you that there was no DH in the National League ballpark. That's for you, Mark Sammons. Now, I'm just forwarding because I got to get this. I know you guys are probably you're dying right now. Is that more? I think it's Paul O'Neill. Is that O'Neill? Yeah, it's Paul O'Neill. I'm probably going to have to do it in the next inning. All right, here we go. That's Hal Morris right there, no? Oh, Rio's coming out of the game? Is that what it was? All right. All right, here's Eric Davis. Joe Oliver. I went a little bit too far here. Wait, what is happening here? Rio, yeah. 4-0. Oh, they're showing Eric Davis. Hang on a second. I know I'm boring you guys. My apologies. I mean, this is not the way I wanted to work this out. And Mark is probably laughing right now. It's like, I got this guy over a barrel, blah, blah, blah. That's why I asked for your permission to make sure that I could say this. Oh, as a matter of fact, here's a clip right here. So Henderson's going first to third, but watch this. That's Canseco at the plate. I think they throw over to first here. Because I did see, I hit to throw to first. Who's that at first base? Hey, Mariano Duncan. Yeah, I just saw a clip of whatchamacallit. I can't believe this. You guys taking a picture out. Oh, my God. I can't believe I'm doing this. Is that Davis? Oh, is this Larkin? Yeah, this is Larkin. That's got to be O'Neill. I know, and I don't know why I missed Davis up. Because Morris is after this. Watch it be 2 outs, and I got to forward again. I appreciate you guys. You know that. I'll get into the other things in a moment. Can I do the 10-second thing? This is why I wish I could just do like the 10 seconds just to kind of forward through this. Is Davis still up? Yes, he is. There's Hal Morris right there, by the way. Just so you know. Look at the old Riverfront. Oh, I missed that stadium. I missed the old ballparks. Although they were cookie cutter like Busch Stadium and the Vet. Those were the days. Now, can we please show the graphic? Watch him get pulled from the game now. Benzinger's down in the lineup. Oh, my God. They're killing me here. Stop. Jeez Louise. Can we just get to it here? Yeah, we know Davis at first. Get off the mound. Thank you. Could CBS show the graphic, please? As he just wasted. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now I could sigh relief. What does that say? To Bio, to Val, to Fishing Angel, to J-Rod, to maybe Axel Foley. Thank you for allowing me to bring up this graphic, for allowing me to, I know, waste time here, but to prove a point with your blessing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know what more else I could do to show and prove. And even though I know Mark could be laughing because it took me 3 hours to find the damn clip or to make sure that you see Hal Morris's name and everything attached and right. But yeah. Mark, well, let me ask you this. Whatever it is you're drinking or smoking, I don't know, man. But yeah. All right. So now we can get off that. Let me see what these comments were up to here. Thank you, Fishing Angel. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Never stood on first base. Yeah, I lied. I won't say anymore. I promise. Yes, let's do it. All for it. Benziger played all 4 games? Yeah, I did play the video. Mark, you may need glasses. Yes, we are. That's what we do. Thank you, Fishing Angel. The whole game is available. Yeah, literally, he was not the DH. He was his first base. Do I need to bring up the graphic again? I will not, but by getting 7. Yeah, that's right. Excellent there, Bio. Absolutely. Well, thank you for sure. I don't know if I'll always be right, but I know this thing has a life of its own. 2 weeks later, we're still talking about this. No, Mark, you're wrong. You lost. Own up to it. Thank you, Bio. Own up to it. Showed you a picture. I showed you the video, and I put a freeze frame on it. Didn't happen. Need glasses. He played. He wasn't on first base. Sure was. I showed you Jose Rio at bat, pitcher, and still undefeated. I know I am. Thank you for that, Mark. You finally admitted I'm undefeated. I appreciate that. 4 straight for the Knights. Yes. Yeah, I know Benzinger was your neighbor, but geez. Even Benzinger would say, Mark Sammons, here's a pair of glasses, or yeah, let me take that bottle of smoke away from you. Bio, I took a photo. Oh, I didn't realize that a pinch hitter at that time when I showed you the graphic was 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. All right. Exactly. I'll move on. I promise. I will not say another thing about it. Let Mark spew whatever he wants to say. NHL. Based on Val's comments with the Golden Knights, they're now tied with Edmonton. Did you see that goal by Connor McDavid yesterday? Can we talk about that? Connor McDavid, and listen, he's had a million of these. I'm going to share my screen for that too. But for good measure, ready for this, guys? I know I said I was going to get off it, but I wanted to show you the McDavid goal. And I will do that, I promise. Let me just get this out of here. And this is against Utah. And they actually lost. They were up 3-1 in the game, maybe even more than that. And they lost. But McDavid, I mean, that's why they call him McJesus. Well, yeah, by the way, here we go. 0 for 2, struck out, grounded out. Yeah, in a pinch hitting role. Yeah, I get that, but that's neither here nor there. Connor McDavid goal versus Utah. Now we'll get to see this. Yeah, and this is on the power play. I mean, come on. Now, I don't know. You may have Nathan McKinnon win the MVP this year, and you definitely can't. I mean, that's not McDavid here. Watch. And here's McDavid now. I mean, look at this. This guy, man. Well, you know what I love about McDavid? He doesn't even celebrate. It's like he's expected to do that. You know, he's not showing anybody up. He's not like, oh, look at me. Oh, my God. Nope. Let me just weave through this traffic. Let me just show my God-given ability. And let me just show you. I mean, this guy is Kyrie on skates. And look at this. No, but I love this thing. Look at this. Who's stopping this guy? I mean, and then puts it in the net like, all right, there's another goal. Another day in the office. That's why I've said on my podcast, and I'll say it 1,000,000 times over. Yeah, here's the one last angle. I mean, this guy's, jeez. He hit it off the boards. He's like, nah, you ain't catching me. I mean, the guy is sports' invisible superstar. I mean, you could argue, when you're talking about the best players of their sport, and we can go through all the sports, and let's just say for argument's sake, I understand last year, if you're going to look at Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, I get it, but they're out there. They're visible. Everybody knows who both of those guys are. All right, Matthew Stafford won the MVP, won a Super Bowl. I understand he's a household name amongst a sports fan, but at the same time, people know who Matthew Stafford is. In the NBA, yes, SGA won a title, even Nikola Jokic 3, and he's the unassuming superstar because he's about the team. He's not a me guy. But Connor McDavid, this guy he's won 3 MVPs. This guy could be, I don't know if he will. He's got to win Stanley Cups, though. And I'll be rooting hard for them in the postseason. But, I mean, this guy is, and here I am extolling the brilliance of him. But, I mean, the guy is just not only unbelievable at what he does, but you couldn't pick this guy out of a lineup. Even the good sports fan. Does a good sports fan know who Connor McDavid is? I mean, you would hope so in this day and age. But when you just see how he skated through all those guys and, all right, big whoop. No exuberation, no fist pump, nope. And the guy's invisible. I mean, the guy is, what could you say? But to go back to my Islanders, what happened to my mouse here? Did it die? I think it did. That's a problem. Oh, it's over here. It's on the other screen. Let me get to my comments. Red Wings are cooked. Yeah, I know. I'm going to get to my Islanders. Mark, you may be trying to sell. I'm not buying. No, they're not. Just need to focus on getting better shots on goal. No, you're that I'm skipping. I just sent a screenshot of how Morris playing first base while attempting to take Corner Lance at first base. Did you? Wait, did you send that in the room? Or you sent it to me? Maybe send it to me. Oh, you did. Oh, I wish I could send this to the room. Yeah, that's Hal Morris. Listen, I mean, oh my God, look at this. He was all right. Where did he play in the outfield? Where did he play? Eric Davis was in center. I guess Billy Hatcher was in left, and Paul O'Neill was in right. Hal Morris, was he playing? Left center? Was it softball? Short center? He'll never win a Stanley Cup as long as he stays at Edmonton. You know what? It's quite possible that's the case. And he signed that 2-year extension where he's not a free agent until after 2028. I know he doesn't want to leave Edmonton, but yeah, their goaltending situation is Their defense, ugh. They made it to back-to-back, Stanley Cups. I don't think they're going to go back this year. West is loaded. I mean, Dallas. And they beat Dallas last. I mean, they could beat Dallas. Who replaced Eric Davis? I don't know. Who did? Probably played all 9 innings in game 1, because we're looking at game 1, by the way. Red Wings always be the best hockey league out there, in my opinion. Or best hockey team. Hockey Town USA. Do they still have that on across the logo on center ice? Shows how many Red Wings games I've watched. Hal Moore's position was first base, not 1999 World Series. All right. Well, I don't know how much I could prove, so I'm going to move on. Unfortunately, Kings fans know too much about Connor McDavid. Yes. I know the last 4 years. Fuqua. If Detroit Red Wings can focus on getting shots on goal, work as a team, they'll win. Yeah, they can. I know, Fuqua. I got wrapped up. I know sometimes, whatever. And I still got to get to baseball and a few other things, which I'll get to right now. I know. Google boy. Yeah. I didn't even have to Google that up when we first talked about it, so I'm going to skip that, Mark. Yes, I agree with Fuqua, a.k.a. Tatsuya, my Minnesota Fats, etc. All right, so, yeah, back to real quick with the hockey. Islanders, they're going to be toast. I think I may have mentioned that before. But you know what? I'm going to move on to other things. I have to bring this up, people, before I get to baseball. All right? I'll be quick because I'm sure this is why I'm probably going to bore people to tears. But the Super Bowl of golf begins tomorrow. The tradition, unlike any other, the Masters. This is the one tournament that I am locked in, glued in. It's going to be a nice weekend in the Northeast, too, so it's going to be tricky. Especially Sunday. I like to be home on Sunday to watch the whole thing. I'll watch a little bit tomorrow, a little bit on Friday. Saturday, I'll be out and about a little bit, but I'll be dialed up or dialed into it. Sunday, I want to be just laser focused. Now, we know Rory won last year. Got the piano off his back. Rory has not played well. I know he's fighting some back issues. It's going to be interesting to see how he's going to play here, considering he won and finally got the career Grand Slam there last year in the playoff against Justin Rose. Scottie Scheffler, who's not played that well for him this year. I think he's only won one tournament. Usually he comes into the Masters firing on all cylinders. Not the case this year. I think it's wide open. I know we're going to have the usual guys that have played well this year, whether it's the Tommy Fleetwoods, the Ludwig Ockbergs, who's played very well, even Lee Westwood. Those guys in Augusta, they usually are at the top. Xander Schauffele's another one. Who knows with Colin Morikawa. Dustin Johnson, he's like spit the bit. And he won in 2020. Now, that was in November during the COVID year. But ever since then, Dustin Johnson's been a no-show. And I don't even think now that I think about it, is he even eligible? No, I think with the Masters, you have an exempt. He's exempt for life, so he'll always play. But I know that for those who aren't Masters champions, if you've won at least a major in the last 5 years, you're exempt. You're automatically in. But if you haven't, then you're out. Or at least you got to finish like top 5 if you don't win a tournament. And that's just the majors. But I'm looking forward to it because I think it is wide open. I don't think you have the guys that have been coming in, whether it's, even John Rahm or Bryson DeChambeau. I would probably favor DeChambeau right now because I have a feeling that he's going to have a big tournament. And remember, last year, he was in the mix going into Sunday. I believe he was back 3 strokes. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he birdied 3 and 4 and was actually tied with Rory. And then he just fell apart. Hit balls in the drink, couldn't get out of the bunker, and just fizzled. Where Rory, if you recall, got himself on the back 9. I believe he was 4 strokes ahead. And then he started to slip, and then Justin Rose came back. And you remember, he bogeyed on 17 before Justin Rose got to him on 18. And then off the tee on 18, they both hit the fairway, and then the approach, and then you had McIlroy drain the putt to win the Masters. Yeah, I think it's wide open. I don't know. I like DeChambeau here. I know to me, he's better than John Daly, but he's a grip it and rip it guy. He's kind of laying on the weeds, not necessarily as far as him and his competition goes, but he's laying under the weeds a little bit because a lot of people think that I don't think Rory's going to be anywhere near the top of the leaderboard. And I guess that's a hot take because I have a feeling that he's celebrating this win, the Champions Dinner, which I believe is tonight, where it's his first time there and he's the one that can pick the menu out and whatever he wants. And he's going to bask in all that. And that's not to say he's not going to be laser focused, but because this is a victory lap for him and it's full circle because of what happened last year and now that he's here, and not to say that he's not going to take this tournament seriously, but I just don't see him being a threat. Now watch come Sunday, he's at the top of the leaderboard and that'll shut me up. But I like DeChambeau. Again, you can't discount Scotty Scheffler, the aforementioned Ockbird, Lee Westwood, Tommy Fleetwood. They're always at the top come the weekend. Xander Schauffele is another one. If you're looking at other players, whether it be even a guy like, who's the one kid that a lot of people like? I have to look him up again. It's funny. I got the name. It's on the back of my mind. I don't even want to look him up because, of course, Marco, there goes Google Boy. He'll come to me. And you're not going to see Phil Mickelson, family issue. Not that he matters, because Mickelson, he's long in the tooth as far as his golf game goes. But yeah, I think it's wide open. I don't think it's a situation where you're going to have you may have the usual suspects there, but there's going to be some other guys that I think they're going to be milling around. Cameron Young is another one who actually played well at the TPC. That's a guy that you got to look at. Even Cameron Smith. That's not the guy I was trying to think of. The younger guy who's coming on, he's bursting onto the scene now this year. So yeah, that's it for the golf. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to preview it a little bit tomorrow. And listen, I already gave you who I think is going to win. So I guess I tipped my hand. So let me get back to the comments before I get to the baseball, and then I'll wrap things up. Let me see. Here we go. Mark's a keyboard warrior. Nothing else to see. Yeah, no, I'm going to skip whatever he's Masters, Augusta, Georgia. Yes, indeed, Fuqua. You already know. For real golf boring. I love watching it. The major tournaments, though. And I actually got into it. The first time I really got into golf watching was 2005. I was coming back from Florida. I was in Miami that weekend. And I had followed the tournament throughout the weekend. And Tiger shot, I think it was on 15. And he was going against a guy, Chris DeMarco. Talk about a guy that's not a household name. But he made that one shot on 15 from the bunker. No, I think it was from the water. Maybe from the bunker, though. And he chipped it. Let me see if I can look that up. And he chipped it, and it rolled all the way up, down the putting green, and it was on the lip of the cup. And for about a second and a half, it stood there, and then it went in the cup. And that's when I said, oh, man, we got a tournament. And that's when I really got into it. I had followed it here and there, but I wasn't immersed into it. For whatever reason, 2005 was the one year I really got into the Masters. And at that point, I was like, nah. And then, mind you, I was doing sports talk at a community center in the South Bronx. So, yeah, I wasn't really up on the golf. And I knew about Jack Nicklaus in 86 and Greg Norman, his collapse in 96. You know, some of the, and Tiger in 97. What did he win by 13 strokes or whatever it was? But, yeah, that's when I really fully got into the golf. Oh, no, I don't want the whole final round. Yeah, on 16. I said 15. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. I mean, this is just classic. All right, let me pause this here. If you didn't see this, yeah, I said it was on 16. All right, let's share this real quick. How much time I got? All right, J-Rod, let me hold that. All right, I got to go back to this, take this off too, just so I can get the full screen. I appreciate you guys. And I know golf is boring, and I get it. It's like, oh, geez, this is a snooze fest, blah, blah, blah. But check this shot out. So there he is. He's not in the bunker. He's in the line. He's in the rough. And I forgot how many strokes. So maybe they'll show the graphic. But you see the pin. And I think this had to be for, I don't think it was for birdie, maybe for par. Again, it was so long ago. Look how young he looks. You see that mugshot of him the other day, and it's just like, ugh. But that's what happens when you got scandal and you age like a mother. And Tiger, he's 50 now, and he's looking like he's 60. All right. So here we go. Watch this. I mean, it is one of the all-time shots. And you're thinking, oh, no way! And then, I mean, does it get any better than that? And when I watched that live, because I was already back from my trip, I was home and I was like, I gotta watch this. But I mean, come on. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh snap, it's gonna go in, 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 it's gonna go. Oh no, I can't believe it. And then, oh man. That's sports, man. That's the beauty of it. And I get it, it's golf. It's not the four majors. It's a niche sport. It's elitist because it's Augusta. Let's call it as we see it. But man, that was as good as it gets. All right, let's see. He was, all right, I'll bring this up. He made a diving catch where he landed on his, I think it was his kidney or spleen maybe. One of the two in game 4 when they won, and he couldn't even, word on the street was that Marge Schott didn't want to get the private plane for Eric Davis to come back, that he had to fly commercial. I mean, seriously? So we need to know about Marge Schott. Imagine Tiger Woods crashing his golf cart upon the Masters. Oh, that would be a story. Absolutely. Thank you, Fishing Angel. I appreciate it. South Park episode of Tiger Woods. Was that a long time ago? Oh, no, that had to be during the scandal, right? I did not see that. I'm going to have to look that up. Oh, man, Fuqua. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Yeah, Hal's a pinch hitter. Yeah. No, I got to see that. I'm going to look that up. Yeah, I used to play that too, J-Rod. In fact, I did play that. Maybe it was after. No, I think it was around that time because I always loved the golf video games for some reason. You know what? The way golf is now on TV, it's a lot better because there's cameras everywhere and they're always switching to somebody else. Like if they just had an ISO on, let's say, Tiger or Rory, I mean, of course, it's going to put you to sleep. But when you have a competitive leaderboard and they're all over the place, and that's the one thing I like about the Masters is because you hear the roars in the background. It's very intimate. The azalea's blooming. Listen, it's the best. It's the Super Bowl of golf. No other way to put it. Never played golf besides putt. Yeah, besides mini putt or mini golf. Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. I gotta watch that. Dirt nap. Hey, Mark, come on, man. That one. Listen, I want to keep it respectful in the room, but that one, it's a dirt nap. It could have been worse, but he got you on that one. All right. MLB roundup. We talked about the brawl, so I'm not going to rehash that. But Dodgers. Max Scherzer, again, leaves the game with, I think he had forearm stiffness. Last night, they lose 4-1. They'll play the finale tonight. Blue Jays are scuffling. And I wish they would have put this series. And of course, they make the schedule. It usually comes out, around the All-Star break, I think, or maybe soon thereafter, somewhere around there. So it's not as if the schedule makers in December or January figured, let's put Dodgers Blue Jays in the second week of the baseball season. So the schedule's already out. But I wish that this series was later on in the year because the Blue Jays are not firing. They are just in the muck right now. And the Dodgers, listen, they're on the verge of winning 110 games. So maybe even more for that matter. But has not been a series, has not been competitive. And, I mean, that's all you could say. It's been a beatdown. And that's all there is to it. So, and anything else in baseball? I know Connor Griffin signed that contract based on what Val posted earlier. Good for him. But can they sign Paul Skeens? I know I said that too, but still. Your schedule today. Mets are playing another 4-10 game because it's going to be cold. And that was another thing, too. Some Yankee troll came on and said, the Mets had to postpone or move their game up to 4:10 because they didn't want their fans sitting out in the cold. Where the Yankees, they're playing at 7:05 last night and tonight, trying to make all the Met fans and the Met and their organization isn't tough. Well, if you want to sit out in 20-degree weather, that's up to you. And that's with the wind chill. Last night at around 9 o'clock, I think it was, no, that's a lie. When I took the dog out for a walk at 6-ish, it was 42 degrees with the wind chill 29. And at 9:30, it was 36 degrees with the wind chill at 23. So there goes your numbskull Yankee fans coming out saying, the Met fans, look at they're wimps, they're soft. I don't want to watch a baseball game when it's 20 degrees outside. I don't think anybody in their right frame of mind wants to do that. So the Yankee fans are hot stuff, and that's why I can't stand them. The entitlement, the arrogance, and I get it, maybe it's a New York thing, but you already know. And it sucks that New Yorkers, for the most part, they are labeled as arrogant. Although, they may not want to help you on the street, but they'll help you. All right, where do you need to go? All right, go down that way, and that's it. But yeah, it's just the New York sports fan, and I've lived here just about my whole life. Graduated high school in Florida, but please, if anybody knows the climate of the New York sports fan, it's yours truly. And yeah, they're bad Met fans. They're bad fans in every group. It doesn't matter what city, whatever. But the thing is that the Yankee fans, they just have that puff your chest out. They get me sick. I understand now all Yankee fans are like that. And I have Yankee fans in my life that are by the book, objective. Yeah, I want Brian Cashman out. I want the manager Aaron Boone out. Love them. But the ones that just think that, let's get the ticker tape parade ready in April. I know it should be in one ear and out the other, but it just stamps my disdain for the pinstripes. Games today. We got 3 games going on now. It is after 1. Padres, Pirates, Royals, Guardians. Red Sox won a game last night. Did they not? I think they did. Finally, as they're 3-8, hosting the Brewers. LA Toronto's at 3. All right, afternoon game, so it's getaway day. Mets at 4:10, Yankees at 7:05 as they freeze. And Luis Severino's pitching, the former Yankee. Game's on Prime, by the way. Is that Dodger game. Yeah, because the Dodger game was on FS1 Monday, and then yesterday was on TBS. But no. And you have Shohei pitching today, so we'll talk about that tomorrow on the pod. Excuse me. Yankee game tomorrow is an afternoon game, and the Met game's a night game. But that was originally scheduled because it's a getaway day, more so for the Yankees than the A's, because the A's are staying in New York to play the Mets over the weekend. And the Yankees are playing Tampa, and the Mets have a night game, and the weather's supposed to be better tomorrow. I think it's supposed to be, what, 55? Let's take a look. The high's 50. Right now it's 46. Oh, it feels like 47, but tonight, by the time you get to tonight, let's say 9 o'clock, Yankee Stadium, oh, it's not bad. It's 40 degrees, but the wind chill's probably going to be in the 30s. So there's your weather report there here from New York and for the baseball. And then, we'll talk about the schedule over the weekend. I don't know, any interesting games on top of my head? Let me see. I'll tip my hand. What the hell? Yeah, it's a couple good games. Or good series, I should say. Yeah, I'll talk about it tomorrow. Spare you guys that. All right, what else do I have? Anything else, guys? Texans pick up C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson's fifth-year options. That's no surprise. Oh, look at this. Scheffler slides in Master Odds. John Rahm, Roy McIlroy, Bryson DeChambeau among favorites. Yeah, I'll take DeChambeau. And Rahm is good too, but Rahm even admitted going to the live has screwed him up, though. He has not played well in these tournaments since he left the PGA Tour, as I go back to golf for a second. Oh, and I'm also working on a World Cup thing. I reached out to one guy that I may have as a guest, but we'll see. I'll keep you posted with that. Yeah, but that's it. Nothing else in sports. Nothing else happening. Nothing else going on. Fernando Mendoza. Yeah, the draft's 2 weeks from tomorrow. Hottest takes 2 weeks into the season. The Masters Gnome, yeah. Oh, Max Homa, Jordan Spieth, yeah. Uh-oh, how hockey helped Michigan's Michael Hage overcome tragedy. Also, that's going to be a story that they're going to hang their hats on. Divine intervention, how Dallas landed Dak Prescott at 135 in the 2016 draft because it's 10 years later. I mean, does anybody care? Anyway. All right, let me get to the comments, and then I'll start to land this plane. Oh, I'm glad you said that there, J-Rod. Let me scroll up. Hold on. Never played golf. But, yeah, a long time to South Park. Yeah, we talked about that. Thank you, Fishing Angel, as always. Dirtnap was polite. I will. Oh, Mark. All right. I will. Fishing Angel, absolutely. Oh, work time. All right. I'm going to sign off in a few. Anyway, about to take Fishing Angel to work here in a minute. I appreciate all you guys. I know you're going to sign off. Have a wonderful day. Yes, you too, J-Rod. You're amazing. Thank you, Fishing Angel. And thank you all for being patient with me today. Thank you all with my showing these videos and everything like that. And yes, is that going to be, where is that, J-Rod? Is that going to be outside? Would it be outside the big house? Will they, I guess, go down Ann Arbor somewhere? And then, because I figured they'll probably go into the big house. Why? You have 110 people instead of Chrysler Arena? I'm sure they're going to want to have everybody come out. So I'm curious. Yes, nothing like Dave Baseball Bio. You said it best. Matter of fact, I'll turn on maybe one of those games. Which one of those games should I turn on now? Padres Pirates, maybe? Milwaukee Boston. I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch that Dodger Blue Jay game. I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm curious to know where, I don't know if you guys have left yet, J-Rod, Fishing Angel. I'm curious to know where the championship parade goes to or through. I vote downtown Detroit for Michigan. Oh, that'd be cool. Why not? But I know Detroit to Ann Arbor is not around the corner, I don't think. Let me see. Ann Arbor. Let's do that real quick. Don't worry, I won't show you any video. And Fugo, when's the next time you're running? Do you run every day? I'm curious. 45 miles. So that's got to be what? 55 minutes? 57 minutes. Oh, 46 minutes. All right. 57 with traffic. Oh, that's a different route. Yeah, you know what? Because let me tell you something. 44 miles to drive through New York could take you an hour and 20 minutes. And I understand that's Detroit, Ann Arbor. And let me see. So let me find out if I could find Clio, because I know you told me this a while ago, but now that I have the map out. Clio to Ann Arbor. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's have some fun here for our guys and gals out in Michigan. And Clio, Michigan to Ann Arbor is, it's north. An hour and 3 minutes. So to Detroit, I'm sure you could cut through. Or you cut through Pontiac. I can see that here. Silverdome, which obviously is no longer there. Oh, interesting. All right. Good to know. Up, J-Rod. Outside going down Main Street, Ann Arbor, and there having celebration to 50. Decent traffic. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, so it's going to go down Main Street in Ann Arbor, having a celebration, but it's not going to go to the big house. It's not going to go, I guess they'll go to the campus. Will they have a rally at the Chrysler, is it arena or center, I think? I'm curious. You run every day. I love it, Fuqua. I know. I got to start running more often, man. Yeah, I got to catch up to you, Fuqua. And I know you run 3 miles a day, which is good. Really good. But, yeah, so that's what we got there. Your running base is better than mine? Is it? I don't know. I haven't seen you run. So, I mean, I'm going to take your word for it. But I don't know that for sure. Oh, you don't think having something at the Chrysler Center? Okay. Yeah, I figured that. Now, again, the weather, if they try to get to the big house, I know if it's windy or whatever. But, yeah, Chrysler Arena probably makes more sense. But I would think they would want to try to get not only just everybody at Ann Arbor, staff, faculty, et cetera, but also the citizens of Michigan to get there and rally around the troops and support the basketball team. 3 miles, 36 minutes, best time. No, it's good. 12-minute miles, hey. You're ahead of the game. Usually run 3-4. Wow. You shave off 3 minutes. That's good. That's awesome, man. I love it. And I know you said you were 50 years of age, too, so that's even better. Keep on trucking, man. I'm glad the leg is holding up. I'm glad that you're doing well. I'm glad for you stopping by. I'm glad for everybody's support, as you know. I know I say that a million times over, but I can't stress it enough. So I guess with that being said, maybe it's best to land this sucker. I know J-Rod's got to leave and Fishing Angel and you guys, as always, I appreciate you carving out precious time out of your day to listen to what it is I have to say about what's happening in the world of sports. Tomorrow, 9:45, podcast pregame. I'm actually thinking about switching up the podcast pregames. And I've also thought about maybe doing more live streams, not doing like the 31 days, but maybe just popping up doing a live every now and again, especially when the weather gets really warm, whether I'm out for a run or doing whatever. But podcast pregame, the latest edition coming at you 11 a.m. tomorrow podcast. Catch up on everything. I know it'll be 3 days after the fact, but more thoughts on the national championship game, the preview of the Masters. I gave you obviously a taste of that now, but a little bit more in depth on that. Whatever's happening in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, whatever is on and popping in the sports world, you know I got you covered. What is this? Oh, Mirror Master, yes. Oh, geez. Do I feel any shame? Listen, to get into that, I'm getting ready to sign off, Mirror Master. And that's not trying to dismiss it or whatever, but it is a sports podcast. I'm not trying to unpack that. I mean, if it was a situation where it was anything goes, I would. But, yeah. And then at the same time, why would anyone be curious about my views or stances when it comes to that? When you're here to watch sports, I'm not trying to deflect but again, you want to ask me why I think Rory McIlroy is not going to win the Masters. Let's talk about it. Or why San Antonio is not going to make it out of the first round, which I think they will, but, that's all right. But this, do I have thoughts about it? Of course I do. I'm human, but, As always, people from the South Bronx, South Beach, South Central, South Pacific, and all points beyond. Peace, love, and God bless. Enjoy the rest of your hump day Wednesday. Be back tomorrow. You know the times. You know the drill. Appreciate your support. And until then, everybody, on the flip.